Evening. How's it all going with everybody? This is an unusual... Can I say unusual when it's only been like 4 streams? Probably not, but a slightly late night stream, we'll go with that. I wanted to get back to this game because it was fun last time. And definitely not because I need to grind out streams for affiliate or anything like that. Definitely the game. I'm just gonna get into it. I probably won't be on too long, maybe hour and a half or so. We'll see how it goes, eh? Let's see how it goes. Lucifer Within Us is the game once again. A strange title for a strange game. I'm hoping Bird is going to be able to stay calm. He's been very loud today. It's a spring thing. He's a male bird. They all get quite shouty at this time of year. Yeah. He was sat quite nicely next to me and then I had to leave the room briefly and he flew away. I was going to show him for you. Anyway, let's play a game. Ad, I see you're in. Do you want to do a set game? Let me tilt my camera up a little bit. Probably better. Add. Hey, nice. Such a pro now. Absolute pro. Amazing. Right. Oh yeah, we should cover how is the weather with everybody. I am officially stealing that bit. How is everyone's weather? It rained a little bit here earlier today. It now appears to be clear. We should be good. Erford's finishing off cooking a stir fry. Nice. What kind of stir fry? I hope not chicken. Don't eat chicken. I like chickens too much to eat them. I'm waiting on these weather reports. We need to know the weather. Rainy with SD. It's a shame. It did seem like it was going to be stormy over here. Grey. Yeah. Okay, I think we've milked that segment for as much as we can. Let's continue. Oh, we get a new thing here. They still haven't decided in this game. They still haven't decided whether it's demon or daemon. All the characters seem to switch between it, and I don't know which of them to go for. It looks like it should be daemon. But then that makes me think of... Oh shit, has it just crashed? Okay, it hasn't. I got a little spinning icon there. You'd eat a moose! I expect moose is quite good, actually. I'd probably eat moose. No one's ordered any milk. I don't think Alan's going to be popping in. Command strips are holding up great. Thanks for checking in, Ed. In case anybody's confused about that, I have my second monitor now command stripped to the wall. It is only a small monitor, so I'm hoping it'll stay. And if it doesn't, it's only going to fall, like, literally about a foot onto carpet, so... Yeah, I would like to know what made Stardust hate moose. They are quite threatening, I suppose. If you live in Canada or somewhere like that and they wander out onto the road, you can't really do anything about it. Command strips are working hard. They are. They're doing a good job. It felt stable when I tugged on it earlier. That's what she said. The demon's final words haunted me. Lucifer was already among us. Hey, that's the name of the game! I wanted to destroy Mother Miriam's body to purge any traces of demonic influence. Abbot Gregory did not heed my words. Mother Miriam was to be given a proper burial. That afternoon, Inquisitor Virgil sent for me, asking urgently to meet him at the graveyard. Yeah, so in the last game, in the last stream rather, we uncovered a attempted framing between two brothers who had some serious beef going on, and the beef that escalated into one of them killing this Mother Miriam person, who I take it was going to be some sort of high up in the church or something. I've not really figured this out. Moose like to murder dogs. Is that real? Is that real? No way. That's mad. Yeah, I mean, moose aren't a joke. Moose will fuck you up. I did not know that they murdered dogs. That's alright, Ad. You're just here to look pretty, mate. You're doing a great job. Canada is a wondrous and scary place. Which one's us? Is that us? Guess that's us. Let's talk to Virgil. Did you notice the muddy footprints in the mortuary, Sister Ada? The rainfall began around dusk. That means the prints were left by someone who walked in after that time. Alright, Virgil, we're the detective exorcist here. Let's talk to Augustine.
You must be Father Augustine. The victim was your apprentice, correct?
Correct. And you are Sister Ada, the exorcist. It is a unique pleasure.
Why does he talk like a vampire? Suspicious. I thought I could take a drink there and they'd carry on the voice acting, but they failed me. Thank you, but I only serve Einsof according to my calling. Why are you here, Father? Visiting in preparation for Mother Miriam's sudden funeral. It's a true blessing to witness your holy work, Sister Ada. I pray Isaac can rest in peace. Isaac? Oh right, they found a body in the grave, didn't they? In the last stream, they said that they dug a grave for Mother Miriam and then they found a different body inside it. How long did Isaac study under you? Do you know him well? He was a fine apprentice, a ready mind and a willing soul. I will mourn him in my own way. I must admit the prospect of witnessing an exorcism is an unexpected silver lining. If I find you guilty, Father Augustine, you'll find the experience to be unpleasant. Tell me now what happened this afternoon, leave nothing out. I began by taking an afternoon stroll. Okay, here comes his testimony.
I arrived at the graveyard with Isaac for Mother Miriam's funeral. Isaac headed to the mortuary on a minor errand.
Who's that?
Then I passed through the graveyard until I saw the statue of Saint Walpurg.
Oh, hey Domella. Good to have you in.
And so well maintained.
Hope you're doing good today. What is he carrying? He just stood there and said, glorious.
For most of the
I think this might be
afternoon, I was
Scroobius
walking
Pit.
through the graveyard, merely observing and admiring.
That's not creepy, is it?
At sunset, I wandered to the back area to meet with Isaac. I was surprised to find an open grave with something inside. Isaac. I was horrified to discover that it was Isaac's dead body. That's when I called for help.
Okay. Right. Let's just leave him for now. See if there's anybody else we can talk to. Maybe we can gather some evidence whilst we're doing it. Oh, there's a thing on the floor. There's a sickle. Farming isn't confirmed. He does sound like Toast a bit, doesn't he? Noble's grave. Oh, what did the sickle say? I didn't read it. Its lightweight blade slices through the air to trim grass and chop weeds. Sharp edge could easily injure someone. Damn right. Statue of Saint Walpurg, the founder of the abbey and patron saint of exorcists. Oh, she's our patron saint. Patron saint. Did not know that. Oh, there's a guy. He was blending in there. I didn't see him. What's this down here? It looked like he was carrying around cereal. I don't think it is cereal. Portable ether-powered device for recording images and text. Okay. Let's carry on gathering. And then we'll go talk to that guy. Isaac, the victim, a teenage youth aspiring to be a scholar. Excuse me. Raised in the church, he joined Augustine as his apprentice 8 months ago. Surgical multi-tool. Found on the staircase between the mortuary and the grave, an ether power tool for making incisions, applying preservatives, what, like jam? Closing wounds. Oh, what's that? Ooh, secrets. The devil's herb. I can't say anything about that. What is this? The devil's herb. I need something nefarious as afoot. The abbey must be purified of its scent. I should dispose of any that I find. What a narc. Why are we playing a narc? That sucks. Anything else down here? Hidden? It's not up here, so... Okay, let's talk to this guy. Abraham, the grave tender.
Release me.
Yeah, dispose of it. Release me, I had nothing to do with that boy. Oh, thank you, Don't Know. That's very kind of you. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Very kind.
You must be Abraham, the grave tender.
I am. I've worked here for 30 years, worked hard without complaint. Has he got a little helmet on? Look around you, every bush trimmed, every headstone polished because of me. I've done all that is asked of me and more. Yet the moment something goes wrong, I'm the one blamed. It's not personal, even the most steadfast among us may fall prey to Lucifer's whispers, Abraham. You dug the grave in which the victim was found, didn't you? Actually, I didn't dig anything today. Oh, so you're just having a day off? Having a little day off. Then who did? How would I know? I've been busy working, as always. What were you doing?
As the grave tender, any crimes that took place here are your responsibility.
I don't know if that's true.
If you are truly innocent, Hide nothing, and tell me what happened. We'll find the truth together.
Oh, Abraham's testimony.
I spent the early afternoon tending to the bushes by the mortuary.
Oh, you got it in for Abraham already, have you, Domella? I don't trust his shiny metal toupee. We might get into his mind hole soon. That's going to sound so wrong to everybody who wasn't here last time. Okay.
When I headed back to the mortuary, Nerissa told me there was nothing else special to do for the day. So I left her to her work. I walked through the mortuary, then headed downhill towards the benches.
Whose voice is that? He sounds like, who's the voice actor who does God of War? David something? I can't remember.
I spent the remainder of the afternoon resting on a bench.
Chris Judge, is that him? We had Stargate looking stuff last time, actually.
Suddenly I heard someone call for help from the back field. I ran over, surprised to see a dead body in the grave.
Okay. Is it him? Did anybody have a quick look on the IMDb? This is the sort of thing that I get distracted by when I'm watching other people play games. I try and figure out who voice actors are and stuff, and it's probably not a good thing to be doing. Can we get inside the church? You go inside? Oh, yep. Oh, look, we can look at tools and things. Evidence found: shovel. Found hanging in the back area of the mortuary. Heavy, bulky, and caked with dirt. I know, SD. It's like, what were you expecting to be in there, sir? Ooh, muddy footprints. Found on the floors of the mortuary, still wet, leads from the back exit of the mortuary to the embalming table. The Gravekeeper, I think his title was. What was it? Abraham the Gravekeeper. Yeah, Grave Tender, that's it. Grave Tender. I wanted to know if it was the guy who did the voice of, Kratos in God of War. Because it sounds like him. Graveyard schedule. Records show 2 notable entries today, both explicitly authorised by Abbot Gregory. Funeral for Mother Miriam at sundown. Visit by Father Augustine. Unrestricted access granted. Okay. Ooh, a bouquet. Bundle of fresh blossoms like that found on a grave. Why were they on the floor? What is this? Is this pieces of Mother Miriam? Bloody liver. Did he talk about a back exit? I can't remember now. I forget things so quickly. It's probably not good for this kind of game. Bloody liver found on a table with other entrails, still partially warm and moist. It appears mangled in some way, perhaps smashed. Who's going about smashing livers? Can't find out. Don't worry about it. I just wondered. It's actually been a really decent game, Domella. I've enjoyed it so far. Oh, I didn't click on those fast enough. Victim's body. I thought that was in the grave down there. The apprentice's youthful face is serene. Above his cleanly slit throat with no bruising. However, an angry scar runs across his stomach. Oh, I just didn't click on it, okay. Embalmed Body, Mother Miriam, there's a large incision down her stomach. Judging from the uneven colouring and chemical scent, she appears partially embalmed. Okay. Let's talk to the embalmer.
Praise Ain Soph. You must be the famed exorcist. It is an honor, sister. I'm Nerissa, and I serve Ain Soph by preparing the dead for burial. I take pleasure in providing cleanliness and comfort for bodies after their souls have departed.
You can come and sit with us if you want. No.
I see. Nerissa, how did you know the victim?
Not at all. The first time I saw him, he was curled in that grave, dirty and bloody. The whole afternoon, I prepared Mother Miriam's body for burial. There isn't much else to tell.
Nerissa's testimony.
Early this afternoon, I informed Abraham of the funeral scheduled for this evening. Grave to tell. Once Abraham left, I started preparing the body for burial. I was alone the entire time. No one came by.
Oh, the wet sounds. It doesn't look like she's doing anything, she's just sort of squelching around in there, I reckon. Let's skip the wet sounds ahead.
Mid-afternoon, Abraham barged into the mortuary, bellowing that the grave is now ready. I sent him away to focus. After Abraham's disturbance, I completed the embalming to the best of my humble abilities.
Interesting.
Just after dark, I heard a scream from the back field. A dead body was found.
The creaking may be the bird. If you're hearing sort of high-pitched sound, it's probably him. He's calmed down a little bit, but he's still quite loud. Fudging the evidence. What, by going around in the body and going... Okay. Let's do another little scrub of this area, because I don't know if I got everything. Probably did. Maybe that was it. Yeah, it's not part of the game. I'm hoping it doesn't pick him up too much. He's not being obscenely loud. If it gets too much, then I can always end this stream. Okay. He said he didn't dig any graves today, right? So he said he was strolling about, and Abraham said that he walked around. So they must have seen each other. Oh no, sorry. No, that wasn't too confusing. Right, I guess we go back to one of these two.
For most of the afternoon, I was walking through the graveyard, merely observing and admiring.
I can't contradict that. Does anybody see, like, the first major contradiction that we've got here? Like, what I'd like to do here is, like, sort of ask if this was real life and I was actually doing this investigation, I would ask if they had seen each other. Because what we're trying to do is corroborate their story. And he said he was sort of sat on the benches, and he said he was strolling around. I guess I could ask him about if he saw him, maybe. Is that what he claims fascinating? Okay, that did nothing. Oh yeah, I can press them on their... okay, I remember now. I remember. It's a lengthy stroll. Tell me more about what you were doing. You doubt me, show me proof that I was doing something else. I don't think we've got any proof. Let's just ask him about everything. I arrived at the graveyard with Isaac for Mother Miriam's funeral. Isaac headed to the mortuary on a minor errand. No names you recognise. Alright, Big Thomas. Good to see you in. Were you close to her father? No, but the abbot was too busy with mass preparations to hold her funeral, so I was trusted with the task. Okay.
Then I passed through the graveyard until I saw the statue of Saint Walpurg.
And get the thing.
What craftsmanship!
Okay. Was there something particular about this statue that caught your eye? Given its age, it's been immaculately maintained. The groundskeeper must be skilled.
For most of the afternoon, I was walking through the graveyard.
We already asked him about that.
At sunset, I wandered to the back area to meet with Isaac. I was surprised to find an open...
Did you see anyone? No, I was the only one near the grave.
I was horrified to discover that it was Isaac's dead body. That's when I called for help.
So you were the first to arrive at the grave? Yes, I was. Okay. Did we go through... Let's just go back to the others and press them as well, because I forgot that you could press them on their testimonies. Sorry, my nose is really itchy today. Damn hay fever. Okay.
Early this afternoon, I informed Abraham of the funeral scheduled for this evening.
And Abraham knew about the funeral? I certainly hope so. Why else would he dig a grave? He said he didn't dig a grave.
Once Abraham left, I started preparing the body for burial. I was alone the entire time. No one came by.
No one came by at all. Nobody was, which was perfect because I need the silence to focus.
Mid-afternoon, Abraham barged into the mortuary, bellowing that the grave is now ready. I sent him away to focus.
Why did you send him away? Is Abraham's presence so distracting? Yes, I don't like people to stand around and gawk while I'm trying to work, no offense.
After Abraham's disturbance, I completed the embalming to the best of my humble abilities.
You consider your work complete then? I did my best given the circumstances. I always do my best. But the thing said that it was like half done, right? Partially embalmed. As if she went out and did something else during the day. Let's ask her about that. You ran over to the grave from the mortuary when you heard call. Yes, Father Augustine was already there. Abraham was running over from the front field. That makes sense. That sounds good. Let's ask about...
After Abraham's disturbance, I completed the embalming to the best of my humble abilities.
Ask about the embalmed body. This is the body I was preparing for the funeral tonight. Oh. Okay, I thought we'd get something from that, but that's fine. Let's go talk to Abraham. Where was he? Yeah, SD. He said he was on his day off and he didn't dig any graves today, so somebody's lying about something.
I spent the early afternoon
Here we go. Are you claiming then that you didn't dig the grave? Right, that's what I said. I was busy with the bushes. Okay. Wait, why is it... where... eh? Oh, I can ask about the people as well. Oh, I've forgotten all of this stuff. Okay.
When I headed back to the mortuary, Nerissa told me there was nothing else special to do for the day, so I left her to her work.
Maybe it's just somebody doing a Kratos impression. So you were dismissed early in the day. Why didn't you go home? Nerissa made it clear I should leave her to work, so I did, but there's plenty of other groundskeeping work to be done. The large headstone out front needed some attention, so I headed that way.
I walked through the mortuary, then headed downhill towards the benches.
You didn't run into anyone? No, no one passed me. Okay. Can I now ask him about that? Maybe he was. I was elsewhere at the time. You weren't. You were both in the graveyard.
I spent the remainder of the afternoon resting on a bench.
On a bench. You were there until someone called for help? That's right.
Suddenly, I heard someone call for help from the back field. I ran over, surprised to see a dead body in the grave.
Right, sit there, who dug the grave? Father Augustine was the one that called for help. Yeah, he was standing over the grave when I arrived. Nerissa arrived around the same time too. Okay.
When I headed back to the mortuary, Nerissa told me there was nothing else special to do for the day, so I left her to her work.
Right, she said that he was bellowing that the grave is now ready, which he claims he didn't. Okay, that got me nothing. Good. Wait, did that noise mean that we'd pressed them enough that we could do the zoomy in thing on their third eye dealies? I heard a noise earlier. The victim dug their own grave. Dark. I like it.
I spent the remainder of the afternoon resting on a bench.
I just want to listen to that voice line over and over again. Resting on a bench. Oh, I can quickly
Abraham's
switch to them.
disturbance,
That's good.
I completed the embalming to the best of my humble abilities.
Let's ask her about that.
Abraham barged into the mortuary, bellowing that the grave is now ready. I sent him away to focus.
That's when I sent him away. Again, I get nothing from that.
After Abraham's disturbance, I completed the embalming to the best of my humble abilities.
Can you contradict what she said about Abraham? About digging the grave? About him saying that the grave was ready?
Mid-afternoon, Abraham
Let's
barged
try
into
it.
the mortuary, bellowing that the grave is now ready. I sent him away to focus.
Yeah, let's try that one. Oh, okay. She doesn't think so. She does seem bad at her job, but she reckons that she finished it, and yet we come in, not a mortician at all, and we can tell that half of it's not done anyway. What were we... Let's go back. Pause it. Abraham barged into the mortuary, bellowing that the grave is now ready. I don't know how we say to her that he said that he didn't dig any graves, because we don't have a piece of testimony that says that. He just said it to us. There isn't anything about digging the grave in the schedule. The smaller branch in this cemetery acquires a space for the more wealthy patrons. There were no other burials scheduled for today or even this week. Let's just ask her about like everything. Abraham's sickle. Any tools are stored in the mortuary's back room, but I have no reason to even touch them. That sounds suspicious. Why would you just say that? Oh, SD, you're onto something there. It does say unmask the allies and she's got a mask on. Why is there a fresh grave? Well, they were planning on burying her. It's just that the schedule doesn't explicitly say, like, here's where we need to dig the grave. You know?
After Abraham's disturbance, I completed the embalming to the best of my humble abilities.
Can I show her? Let's just show her the liver. Oh, that's Mother Miriam's liver. Okay. Was the grave dug the previous day? I don't think so. I think they said it was a fresh grave. Oh, and they said that the dirt on the shovel was wet or fresh or something. This is Mother Miriam's embalmed liver. It seems rather deformed. What happened to it? My apologies, Sister Ada, I must have mishandled it. Organs are very delicate, you know. Yeah, because you were just fucking mashing about in the body. We all saw it. Due to the disturbances today, I haven't been able to focus properly. Okay. Partially embalmed. Let's ask about that. Oh, I think we already asked it, didn't we? Yeah. Surgical multi-tool. We found that outside, which is strange. I found your multi-tool, Nerissa. I'm truly grateful, Sister Ada. Where did you find this? It was lying in the grass near the rear staircase. Impossible unless someone else had stolen it. Wow, she's straight on pinning on Abraham. Wow. What haven't we asked her about? Ask her about the shovel. Abraham uses that to dig graves, but it's far too heavy for me to even carry. You can't carry a shovel! Found on the floors. Leads from the back exit to the embalming table. I apologise for the filth. Normally the mortuary is kept pristine, I assure you, but today is hardly a normal day. It didn't seem like Abraham went any further than, like, the back door. Mashing about in the body. Yeah, we've got an embalmer. When she was doing her testimony and it was sort of playing out, or reenacting what happened, it was just her stood with her hands in the body and it just made squishing sounds for like a 2-minute period of time. Just... It didn't look like good embalming. Yeah, I don't trust her. I'd stop calling people pathetic. Sorry, Darcy. It's out of control. Did we ask her about the schedule? Yeah, we did. Okay. Let's ask about this bouquet. You weren't talking about Nerissa. You're being mean to everyone. Horrible man. Sounded like someone was eating soup all the wrong ways. That's a great way of putting it. Okay. Wait, did she say she brought that? Yeah, she prepares them for visitors. In case people forget them. Okay. Let's ask her about the victim's body. Can we perform an autopsy on the victim's body, Nerissa? I have your multi-tool here. Is this truly necessary, Sister Ada? The victim's cause of death is quite clearly from having his throat slit. There is something peculiar about that abdominal scar. Let's reopen it and see what lies within. Where? As you wish, sister, please give me a moment. Oh, it did say that that surgical tool could like reseal stuff, right? Did somebody put a bomb inside him? There, it's ready. Good, let's have a closer look. What? What? Why are they fucking about with his liver? What's this? His liver, it's loose. It's not attached to the rest of his organs at all. Okay. Strange liver. Found in the victim's body, detached from the rest of the organs. The liver is drained of blood. See? Vampires! It was Augustine. The liver is drained of blood and covered in some sort of chemical. So this is from... Hello, Pip. Lots has been going on. Ad was horrible to somebody. Thinking about banning him from the channel. Standard. It's an embalmed liver. Oh, what's this? His liver, it's loose. It's not attached to the rest of his organs at all. It's an embalmed liver. You can tell by the patchy colouring. I have no idea why it would be in the victim's body when he had only just died. There's been some liver swapping going on here. Why would you swap livers? Can I ask about that again? If somebody... My thinking is... Somebody's slashed this guy. What was his name? Isaac? Isaac. Someone slashed him, like, across the stomach. They fucked up his liver. Which is why it appeared mangled in some way. They've come in, grabbed the liver from Mother Miriam's corpse, shoved it in him, chucked that one on the side. That's my thinking. And then they cut his throat to make it seem like that's how he died instead. I'm not sure why. Oh, everyone's kicking off. Everyone's kicking off. Oh, Ad's calling more people pathetic. Okay, I don't think I can ask her about that. Did we ask her about this already? I think we did, didn't we? Go back to Augustine, the vampire.
Merely observing and admiring. I arrived at the graveyard with Isaac for Mother Miriam's funeral. Isaac headed to the mortuary on a minor errand.
Who would have access to the tools and knowledge for all that? Nerissa. Very true, Herd. See, I'm calling you Herd now, it's caught on. I'm sorry. It gets to this point and I've got my theories, but I don't know how to advance the game. I don't think we've asked him about things yet. I think we've just asked him about his testimony. That tall man with the beard, I think I saw him holding it at one point. Okay, that makes sense. The grave. A disgraced family. Interesting. Statue of Saint Walpurga. Good old Saint Walpurga, are you quizzing me about your own patron saint? I'm asking what it means to you, Father. Burial that honours her final victory against Lucifer in the Abbey's chapel, a true holy site. For 111 years, no daemons have been sighted on our world until today. Yeah, I was asking about this thing that I thought was serial. That's my ether scanner. I use it to record images and pass them into glyphs. Okay. Victim's body. Twitch customer service. You can contact them, but they probably won't get back to you for about 2 years. They're not good at this. They're not good at looking after their people. Hello. Vampire Boy is definitely bullshitting about his long walk, Josh. But I don't know how to call him on it. Because I think I did ask him... I asked Abraham if he saw him and he just said, "Oh, is that what you reckon?" And didn't go anywhere. We're asking him about the body, his face as if he just fell asleep, but how could this be? He had no enemies. Is it possible I was the intended target? Weird thing to say. I don't think he'll know anything about the multi-tool. Nope. Or at least he's feigning ignorance. Asking about the shovel. What are these people and they can't fucking lift up a shovel? Who can't lift up a shovel? It's a stick with a small bit of metal on the end. They're all talking about it like it's some sort of Thor's hammer or some shit. Asking about the liver. We'll get there. We will get there. Asking about the footprints. He knows nothing about the footprints, trying to pin it on Isaac, who is dead. Asking him about the graveyard schedule. Mother Miriam's funeral is scheduled here. Come to pay my respects. The ceremony was rushed, but I promised the abbot I'd do right by her. The bouquet? Oh, he reckons he sent Isaac in to get a bouquet. Excuse me. I'm not going into that, Darcy. I'm not going into that. Maybe it is made of silver, but no. Nerissa said she couldn't pick it up either. Maybe they're both vampires. God. Working in a mortuary would be a good job if you were a vampire, right? Double vampires. Ask him about the liver. Oh, he's been fucking around inside squelchy bodies as well. Conducted several anatomical studies. I don't know why I struggle with that word so much. And I've never seen an organ mangled this way. The body. The Miriam's remains. I'd heard the accident was unsightly. It was that. I'd hoped for a closed coffin ceremony. Okay. The strange liver. Was this from Isaac's body? You must be mistaken, as it's entirely dried out and discoloured. Oh no. Let's talk to Abraham about things.
I spent the early afternoon tending to the bushes by the mortuary.
Does the main character in iZombie work in a mortuary? I think I watched like the first episode of it and I just couldn't get into it. Something is making a pinging sound and I don't know what that means. I mean, I can... no. Okay, nothing on the sickle. Grave. It's his family's old grave. Oh. Augustine said his family went into disgrace or something. We're not nobility anymore, but the Abbey's grounds once belonged to my ancestors. Cool. Phoebe started talking. I don't know if he'll be picked up on the mic or not, but it was... what was this? Oh, it was all confiscated after my great uncle Sergius was branded a heretic. Maybe it's Einsoff's humour that I work the land now as a labourer. Life has its ups and downs, it's a good job. He could be bitter about stuff. Statue was always an ordeal to clean. 100 some odd years already, as you probably know. Birds love making a mess on her head. Same. As in, birds. I'm not going into that. I keep her sparkling clean, almost out of spite. Okay. Fair enough. He doesn't know about the ether scanner. The victim's body, sure it wasn't an accident. It seems so strange to have a murder after all these years without any. Well, we've already had one today. The multi-tool, I can't... Oh. Unfortunately, we're sure Abraham this was a demon's work. A pity, and the boy's so young too. I suppose it's part of Einsoff's will somehow. Multi-tool? It's definitely Nerissa's. I've seen her using it at the table many times, getting the dead ready to rest. I suppose it cuts and injects and repairs. I've never used one myself. Suspicious. Suspicious, I'll say that. Never used one, but he knows what it does. Let's ask him about this fucking heavy shovel that nobody else can pick up. That's my shovel. It's built to last. Good workmanship. You usually leave it in the mortuary when I'm not using it. Okay, nothing. Footprints. These can't be my footprints. It's true that I went inside the mortuary after working outside, but that was before the rain. Ah. Okay. Schedule. Doesn't know about the schedule. The bouquet. Nerissa makes bouquets from a flower garden nearby. Visitors sometimes use them as offerings at the graves. Nothing. You say that's a liver. If it is, it looks like a dog got to it. Nice. I usually only see the bodies when they're all cleaned up. Nerissa must not have finished with this one yet. Right? Yeah, whatever that is, it's embalmed already. The chemical smell is always around the mortuary. What's this pinging sound? Why are you pinging at me, game? Can't. Maybe I can get into one of the others.
I arrived at the graveyard with
No.
Isaac for Mother Me.
Oh, that was one we just
I
did.
spent the
Early this afternoon,
No.
I informed Abraham
I thought it was like the
of
pinging
funeral
sound of
scheduled for
the
this evening.
thing, but it doesn't appear to be. Mind you, it's stopped now. Does that mean I need to be on her? Wait, if I go back to
I
Augustine.
arrived at the graveyard with Isaac for Mother Miriam's funeral. Isaac headed
Stop
to the
pinging again.
mortuary on a minor errand.
It's not a cricket sound. It was... I definitely heard it in the last case as well, but I can't remember if I ever found out what it did. And now it stopped again. Abraham's vampire alarm. What, his alarm to... that there's one
I
nearby?
spent the early afternoon tending to the bushes by the mortuary.
Oh, it pings on him. It's pinging on him, isn't it?
Early this afternoon, I informed Abraham of the funeral scheduled for this evening.
I spent the early afternoon tending to the bushes by the mortuary.
But why is it pinging? What does that mean? Maybe that means there's something I need to... like... contradict.
Suddenly I heard someone call for help from the back field. I ran over, surprised to see a dead body. I spent the remainder of the afternoon resting on a bench.
On a bench. Did he say his relative was possessed? I know it said that, like his family was disgraced. I can just ask about people. Let's just ask him. Let's ask them all about each other. He gives me the creeps too, Abraham. Ask about Isaac. Poor boy in the grave, such a shame I hadn't seen him while he was alive. Ask him about himself. I'm Abraham, the groundskeeper here. Polish the headstones, trim the bushes, that kind of thing. Okay. I don't see why that would matter. Is that who the grave was for? If you say so, she must have been important to have a plot here. Nerissa handles all the business in the mortuary and tells me when there's things that need doing. We both take pride in our work and don't bother each other much. Suits me just fine. What's
After
she got to
Abraham's
say about him?
disturbance, I completed the embalming to the best of my humble abilities.
He discovered the body. I don't believe I've ever met him before. Pride in the work of a sloppy liver. She is very suspect to me, but I don't know how to do anything about it. Isaac was found in the grave. Correct. How dreadful. So young too. I've seen him. Never seen him prior to today. Abraham. Been the groundskeeper for years. Keeps to himself. Nothing bad to say about him. Mother Miriam was beloved by everyone at St. Walpurgis. Honoured to prepare her body for burial. Ask about herself. I am Nerissa, the embalmer at this mortuary. I pray that I'm known for cleanliness and thoroughness. I don't buy it. All Mod Lightning says they're all guilty, string them up. Think we're gonna have to? I think we're gonna have to. Did we ask Augustine about
For
everyone?
most of the afternoon, I was walking through the graveyard, merely observing and admiring.
I don't think we did. Let's ask him. My name is Augustine. I'm a scholar primarily of demons and ether technology. Isaac was my apprentice. He had such potential. It breaks my heart to know it will never be reached. And about Abraham. I assume he keeps the grounds, but other than the statue, I don't see that there's much to do. Oh look, he's over there in this bit. Rest on bench. He said he was on the bench. Ooh. Thanks for the tip, Pip. Do we have anything we can call out as a contradiction on anyone? There's things that we can tell are contradictions, but I don't know like how to present it to the other people, you know? Because in this thing you can see he's saying that Abraham was up here cleaning off this grave, but Abraham said he was sat on a bench. But I don't know how to like present that, you know? Oh, we were asking about people, weren't we? Miriam, nothing. Nerissa. I'd never seen her before, but she rushed from the mortuary when I called for help. She's repeatedly quite perceptive and reliable. She probably has more insight to help you with than I. Shit. Ad's being horrible to people again. Just a horrible man. Just a horrible man. Tell Augustine that benches aren't graves, murder solved. Good call. That seems to be like the little... You probably can't see it too well, but there's a tiny little thing over here that looks like an asset. He's grieving Pat. It's fair, we're all grieving Pat. See, there's supposedly Abraham.
At sunset, I wandered to the back area to meet with Isaac. For most of the afternoon, I was walking through the graveyard, merely observing and admiring.
Did I ask Abraham about that?
I spent the remainder of the afternoon resting
Resting
on a bench.
Let's contradict him. Fuck. He was on a bench and Augustine was milling about. Augustine... But you can see in Augustine's testimony, he's claiming that he didn't, like, see anybody around. They should have seen each other, right, Stardust?
For most of the afternoon, I was walking through the graveyard, merely observing and admiring.
Can I just contradict? No. That one? No. Yeah, Pip. I'm playing all sides here, so I always come out on top. So Nerissa said...
Abraham's disturbance, I completed the once early this afternoon. I informed Abraham of the funeral scheduled for this evening.
But then... he said there wasn't anything special to do for the day. Right? Let's try that. Ah, fuck. I mean, Abraham was the one that was pinging, so I feel like there's something.
To the bushes by the mortuary.
Yeah, it's pinging again. There must be something in here that we've not covered. Yeah, somebody's lying. That seems like it's probably true. Ah, but she did say that she informed him and he said he was out there tending to the bushes, so I guess we can contradict that, maybe? Yeah! You might trim the hedges most days, but you didn't today, did you? Instead, Nerissa asked you to dig a grave for the funeral. That's true, it's an all part of my job. I shouldn't have lied about it, I know. Why would you lie about it? I was worried that if I told the truth that you'd think I killed that boy, but I didn't. When you lie to me, you veil the truth from the eye of Ein Sof. Speak the truth now, there is no room for error in this investigation. Fine. I dug the grave for the funeral, just doing my job. It was empty when I left it. Oh! New stuff. New stuff.
Nerissa told me there'd be an urgent funeral in the evening. I'm not usually told who it's for. Digging grave. So I picked up the shovel and went down to the rear plot to dig a new grave.
Super heavy shovel.
The ground was hard. Took me some time to dig that hole. I took a long break while digging. It's within my rights. There wasn't anyone else around, so it was nice and peaceful. Then I got back to it and finished digging the grave. When the grave was ready, I walked back to the mortuary to let Nerissa know. When I headed back to the mortuary, Nerissa told me there was nothing else special to do for the day. So I left her to her work. I walked through the mortuary, then headed downhill towards the benches.
Okay, so the rest is the same. That's capitalism, Stardust. Nobody's allowed to take a break. It's not allowed. You've got to be productive at all times. Okay.
So I picked up the shovel and went down to the rear plot.
Now we can ask him about all this new stuff.
Nerissa told me.
You didn't know that the grave was for Mother Miriam. No, I didn't ask who it was for. I never do. Doesn't change how deep the hole needs to be. Preach. Oh, look, we can do the thing. Yes. Integrity. Okay. Don't know how that helped us, but that's cool. He values honesty and sincerity. He genuinely loathes lying to try to escape accusation. He seemed pretty happy to lie to me earlier on. What's going on, Abraham? Let's ask him about it. I regret lying. I'm an honest person. But I felt like I had to defend myself somehow from being accused. If you didn't do anything, why would you lie about it? Okay.
So I picked up the shovel and went down to the rear plot to dig a new grave.
You didn't run into anyone on your way to the grave. No one passed by me.
The ground was hard. Took me some time to dig that hole.
It sounds like it's raining.
So I picked up the shovel and went down to the rear plot to dig a new grave. The ground was hard. Took me some time to dig that hole.
It sounds like it's raining to me. The grave was dug this afternoon. Yes, I was surprised by the short notice. Usually I'm told the day before.
I took a long break while digging. It's within my rights. There wasn't anyone else around, so it was nice and peaceful.
You're certain that no one else was around? There wasn't anybody, it was just me. And yet, Augustine was admiring the statue, apparently.
Then I got back to it and finished digging the grave.
Oh, wasps, hello! Thanks for coming on in. We're in the middle of a very serious murder investigation. And now we've got a happy little parrot dancing at the top. How are you doing, mate? Thanks for coming in. What were you playing? Were you on the old Red Dead server? Can we get a shout out for Wasps Kill Bears, please? A murder investigation. There's been a murder. This game is hard to explain. But we're kind of a detective exorcist? That's about as far as I can explain it. Ad, where have you gone? You've got to do work. I'm gonna have to do it myself, aren't I? You can't get the staff. You just can't get the staff. There we go. Murder so foul because of the burp. Yep. Oh, you got a little murder remote. I didn't even know. That's amazing. Why have you got a murder remote? I know, right, wasps? Ads mods are really good. I'd recommend them to everyone. We're trying to figure out who cut open this man and then took his liver out and replaced it with another liver and then sealed him back up again and put him inside a grave. You've had an eventful night on Red Dead Redemption 2. What's been going on, dare I ask? Did it involve beaver juice? Because if it did, I'm not sure I want to know. Let's see. Finish digging the grave. Oh, I'm trying to click on the game in fucking OBS again. Oh, we did ask about that, didn't we?
When the grave was ready, I walked back to the mortuary to let Nerissa know.
Didn't run into anyone. No, no one passed by me. Okay. A detect assist. I like it. Yes. This is good. Complicated web of plots are brewing. Intriguing. I'm interested to see where that goes. I'm still holding off a bit on the Red Dead server. I'm not sure if I'm gonna jump in or not. I sort of have a vague idea of a character, but I'm not sure yet. Still holding back on it. I may get in. What did we get new out of that? So we must have something. Oh yeah, we can push him on. You didn't see anybody. Let's try that one. Not sure how that proves me wrong. Let's try this one. Not sure how that proves me wrong. There wasn't anyone else around. Let's try that one.
It's within my rights. There wasn't anyone else around, so it was...
Ah! How's your piss out? Is it good? You managed to get a fizzy piss today, or is it a still piss? I think you started that, to be fair. By vehemently denying that it was piss. See, what we've got here is him saying that there wasn't anybody there, and us knowing that some guy said he was there. I have to get more confirmation from Augustine.
The ground was hard. Took me some time to dig that hole.
Maybe we can get him on this because of the... It sounds like it was raining. And also there were muddy footprints. Let's just try that. No. Can we disprove Vampire Boy? I'm pretty sure Augustine is fibbing. When did the rain start? They said it... I can't remember where that was now, in like the testimonies, or somebody said that it couldn't have been their footprints because the rain didn't start at a certain time or something, right? Does anyone remember where that was? It's a really good game, Wasp. You should give it a go. It was in I don't know if you got the itch.io bundle for Ukraine. That had literally about 100 games in it, but it was nestled in there, and I found it on load lists of good games out of that bundle. And it is a good game. I'm really enjoying it. You think Augustine said it? Abraham said it could be his. So the thing is with the footprints, they go all the way up to the embalming table. And Abraham said he didn't go near the embalming table because Nerissa doesn't like to be disturbed. Augustine, I think, said he didn't go anywhere near like the inside of the building. Maybe we go back to Augustine.
I took a long break while digging.
See if we can get anything else from
picked up the
him.
shovel and went down to the rear plot.
I arrived at the graveyard with Isaac for Mother Miriam's funeral. Isaac headed to the mortuary on a minor errand.
Stardust thinks Abraham's only guilty of one lie. I mean, we found out his sanctum thing was his integrity. So I'd assume the rest of his thing, after we called him up on that one lie, I'd agree that the rest of his is probably true. I guess we can contradict.
I saw the statue of Saint Walpurg. What craftsmanship, and so well maintained.
We can contradict this one with Abraham and see if that works. Ah! This game! I really enjoy this game, but it keeps asking me to do things and then I think I've got the right answer and it's not quite what they wanted. He lied because he didn't want people to think poorly of him, which goes with his character. I just don't see why he would lie about digging the grave. Yeah, exactly, Stardust. Why that? There has to be something that we can contradict within the new stuff that we found, I think. That makes the most sense to me. Maybe it's
Once
Nerissa.
Abraham left, I started preparing the body for burial. I was alone the entire time. No one came by.
That's suspicious. The fact that she thinks she has to say I was alone the entire time. Maybe we contradict that with the footprints? The bouquet? I wasn't expecting that to work. If no one came by the mortuary, why are these flowers on the ground? Very well, there's no use hiding it. Please know that nothing untoward happened. The victim only stopped by for a moment. Something's going on. Hey, Horrible David. Good to see you in. How are you doing today? Okay, so we got new stuff. We got new stuff.
Early this afternoon, I informed Abe. The truth is that the apprentice did come by. He asked for a bouquet for the funeral later that day. When I showed him the bouquet, he held it for a moment and then threw it on the floor. I suppose it wasn't to his master's tastes. I forgot to pick it back up. Then the boy asked to be taken to the rear fields before the funeral, so I led him out the back exit.
Okay. And then she went back to her squishing around inside the body. Now we can do one of the sanctum things. Famine survivor. How does that help us? Does she eat livers to survive? Oh, we can ask her about the new stuff.
The apprentice did.
Do you notice anything about the victim at this time? No, he seemed like a normal, healthy young man to me.
When I showed him the bouquet, he held it for a moment and then threw it on the floor. I suppose it wasn't to his master's tastes. I forgot to pick it back up.
Ask. He didn't take the bouquet with him. No, he decided it was best to return empty-handed than bring something unworthy. Okay.
Then the boy asked to be taken to the rear fields before the funeral, so I let him out the back exit.
When you last saw him, he was headed towards the grave. That's right, he left the mortuary out the back. Does that give us anything new? He headed out the back. But Abraham was out there and he said there wasn't anybody out there. So did we press Abraham on that?
Then I got back to it and finished digging the grave. I took a long break while digging. It's within my rights. There wasn't anyone else around, so it was nice and peaceful.
Let's try that. Let's contradict that. Yeah! He lied again. We trusted him. He lied again. On my family's honour, I swear that I saw no one while digging the grave. Certainly I did not see Nerissa or the boy come through. Or...
I took a long break while digging. It's within my rights. There wasn't anyone else around, so...
You're certain that no one was around? There wasn't anybody, it was just me. So he's sticking to that though. Unless he didn't lie the second time and Nerissa did. We go back to her and ask her about it.
Then the boy asked to be taken to the rear fields before the funeral, so I let him out the back exit.
Let's try that. Yeah, nice one, Hereford. I don't know why Abraham would lie, but the victim left through that door. I swear I saw it myself. Oh, so we got a conflict here. We got a conflict.
Then the boy asked to be taken to the rear fields before the funeral, so I let him out the back exit.
Okay, there's nothing new. There's still a lot of stuff around here that I think we need to find more information for. Everyone is just a big old liar, Larson. Maybe McFib is up in this place.
After Abraham's disturbance,
Can we contradict that with the
embalming to the
shoddy
best of my
thing?
humble abilities.
Yeah, we're getting good at this now. We got this game sussed. This game's fucked now. The body on the embalming table has a clear incision that remains unsealed. How could you possibly claim that it's ready for burial? Sister Ada, I truly tried my best, but I could not finish the preparations in time. Well, you see, I misplaced my surgical tool. Searched all over the mortuary for it, but I couldn't find it anywhere. Oh, we got new stuff.
Mid-afternoon, Abraham barged into the mortuary. After Abraham left, I noticed that my multi-tool wasn't in my pocket. I searched all over the mortuary for it, but it was missing.
Why did she get down on her knees there? That's weird. Oh, we got more
I
stuff.
did what I could without making new incisions, but that made things slower and messier. I'm not pleased with the results.
Let you enjoy that squishy sound for a bit longer. Oh, she's finished. Okay. What do we know about the multi-tool? It was found in the staircase between the mortuary and the grave. Oh, we can do that thing again, I forgot. Carnivore? Famine survivor and a carnivore? You've been eating people? Is she the vampire? Oh, she was a vampire, didn't we decide that it was double vampires? Hmm. Let's ask her about it. It wasn't in the mortuary, that seems improbable. I thought the same, but I searched everywhere inside. It's just not here somehow.
I did what I could without making new incisions, but that made things slower and messier. I'm not pleased with the results.
How did you hope to finish the embalming without your tool? I started pulling the organs out with my hands and sealing the incisions with bandages. I know! Hannibal Lecter's come true. She's a lying liver muncher, I like that. It seemed better than sitting on my hands. I have a reputation to protect. You say so. Oh, we can ask her about this. She grew up during the Great Famine, feeding on anything she could. She eventually found sustenance, but at what cost? Without faith, I could never have persevered through those days. I am ever grateful to Einsof and the kind souls of our church. Ask her about being a carnivore. She enjoys exotic cuts of meat. Especially fresh entrails and organs. What? What? Perhaps I enjoy meat too much. But everyone has a soft spot for something. She's scaring me, man. You reckon she's got blood under the mask? That could be it. It's hiding it. Maybe that's it peeking out of the side there. Just like a toddler that's got hold of some chocolate cake, but it's just blood. Could be the pointy teeth hiding under there. Eat cheese, not people's parts. I can get behind that. I can get behind that, very much so. Can we do anything with that though? No, probably not. I don't think we're allowed to use those until we accuse people. This may be all that we got on these two. Maybe we can get something else from Augustine. Because we haven't done the little eye thing with him.
Merely observing and admiring.
To redeliver and see if she chases it. It's a good idea.
I arrived at the graveyard with Isaac for Mother Miriam's funeral. Isaac headed to the mortuary on a minor errand.
Okay, so that lines up. Just ask him about it. Good, she admits the truth. Okay.
Then I passed through the graveyard until I saw the statue of Saint Walpurg. What craftsmanship, and so well maintained.
Cannibal mortician with a reputation. I don't know how she's stayed in this job for that long. Powerful Khan, I've got bad news for you. Or your friend, rather. Definitely your friend. Vampires, man. Vampires. Isaac to exit. Big grave. I guess I can ask about these lots. No reason to doubt she showed the bouquet. But I wonder why Isaac would leave the bouquet at the mortuary. I don't think he feared my disapproval so much. Perhaps he was more sensitive than I knew. Didn't see him do it, but there was a freshly dug grave in the rear field. Or excuse me. Ask about taking a break. Perhaps that's true, I wasn't there, okay. Asking about taking Isaac to the exit. If that's true, then Isaac must have died near the grave. Why? Ask about the digging. Doesn't know.
For most of the afternoon, I was walking through the graveyard, merely observing and admiring.
He wasn't there. I can't get anything on him. Were the footprints his? His as in Augustine, or...?
Then I passed through the
Isaac to
graveyard
exit.
until I saw the statue of Saint Walpurg. What craftsmanship, and so well maintained.
Augustine's. I mean, Augustine says that he at no point says that he went inside the building. We could ask Nerissa about the footprints on... Let's try that.
Then the boy asked to be taken to the rear field before the funeral, so I let him out the back exit.
Let's just contradict with the footprints and see what happens. Explain these muddy footprints, Nerissa. They indicate that someone left and then returned to the mortuary during the rain. I wish it would tell me when the rain was, because I don't know when that was. Given that Father Augustine remained outside and that Abraham left before the rain, these must be your footprints. I'm sorry, Sister Ada, for the lies and for the filth. I can't wait to clean it up. I admit that I did step outside briefly to search for the multi-tool. But since it was raining I couldn't find anything, so the embalming remains sadly unfinished. New shit. We got new shit.
After Abraham left, I noticed that my multi-tool... I was desperate to find the tool to finish my work. I tried searching outside, but I couldn't find anything in the rain.
Look, she searched very hard. She just went out there and stood
I
still.
did what I could without making new incisions, but that made things slower and messier. I'm not pleased with the results.
Okay, let's ask her
I
about
was
that. Why would you assume that it would be outside? Good point. I suppose I panicked. I thought it may have rolled outside when the door was open. What? But we can go in again. I don't know if I want to go in there again. I don't like being inside her sanctum. It's bad in there. We all knew it was coming. He's a cannibal. Should we just accuse her? But she left it in the grave. Would she kill him just to eat him, though? She probably gets bodies in there all the time. Why would she kill a fresh person? Yeah, Abraham wasn't out there anymore. He's gone and sat on a bench. Not a fresh baby. Add. He discovered it. Who discovered what? Augustine discovered the body. Who found the multi-tool? Did we find that out? We discovered the multi-tool. And it was like down in the corner, wasn't it? Let's ask her about being a cannibal, why not? A deep temptation to devour human flesh. How long has she felt this hunger? It's a terrible tendency of mine, but it's harmless, I assure you. I only nibble at the entrails that no one would want. He went outside after getting flowers. It was raining, so he went back inside, found her chowing down. She chased him and killed him and ditched the body. You could be right. Yeah, we don't know when he died exactly. Abraham didn't see anybody come out. Maybe we can ask her.
He held it for a moment and then threw it on the floor.
Because
I suppose it wasn't to his master's tastes.
Augustine said that he didn't think that Isaac thought that much of him. Maybe we can contradict that. But with what? When did he say that? That's not him. How could we contradict that? Can I just contradict it with a person? Oh, testimony of physical evidence. Just show the bouquet. That doesn't contradict what you said. You're right. When you're right, you're right.
Then the boy asked to be taken to the... When I showed him the bouquet, he held it for a moment and
It's
then
doing the
threw it on
bleeping again.
floor. I suppose it wasn't to his master's tastes. I forgot to pick it back up.
What have we got on her? See, with her, I've had it in my mind that she's like sort of a cleanliness person. And that she would have picked up the flowers if somebody just dropped them on the floor, but I can't. I think I might have imagined that. Maybe because she was talking about how proud she was of her work and stuff. But it's doing the bleeping again, so we've got something here
Then
somewhere.
after Abraham left, I noticed that my multi-tool wasn't in my pocket. I searched all over the mortuary for it, but it was missing. I was
Did we
desperate
ask
to
about
find
that?
the tool.
Yeah, we did. Hmm. It may have rolled outside when the door was open. That's weird. That's a weird thing to say. Can we contradict that with where we found it? No. What's the analyzer thing again? This one, the scanner. Forcible ether-powered device for recording images and text. But it wasn't anywhere near any of it. Because it was on the graves on the other side of the like fence thing. Was there a way to resolve the conflicting statements?
Then the boy asked to be taken to the rear field before the funeral, so I led him out the back exit.
I think we've tried to contradict them and it didn't. Let's give it another go. Maybe I didn't. Yeah, I don't think that contradicts what I said. And then Abraham.
I took a long break while digging. It's within my rights. There wasn't anyone else around.
Not sure how that proves me wrong. Yeah, it won't let me. I think it's just gonna. They're just gonna stay that color, and it's just gonna be those are contradictory. I think it must be something in Nerissa's because it's doing that bleepy thing again.
He held it for a moment.
I don't know if you can really hear that
I suppose
in the
it wasn't
game
to his
audio. It's
master's
quite
taste.
faint.
I forgot to pick it back up.
I feel like it's got to be something
I was desperate to find the tool to finish my work.
in this
I
last
tried
bit.
searching outside, but I couldn't find anything in the rain.
She's talking about the rain. But these two don't mention the rain, and they were both outside. Vampire Boy was strolling around the graveyard. And Abraham was on the bench.
I did what I could without making new incisions, but that made things slower and messier. I'm not pleased with the results.
You thought it was background noise for the computers. No, it seems to be some sort of indicator that there is something going on with this particular person that you're questioning that you need to press further. She's too suspicious. Why say she thinks her tool rolled out an open door? It is weird, isn't it? I don't know how to
After Abraham left,
contradict
I
that
noticed my
though.
multi-tool wasn't in my pocket. I searched all over the mortuary for it, but it was missing. I was desperate to find the tool to finish my work. I tried searching outside, but I couldn't find anything in the rain.
I feel like it's something to do with the rain. I tried searching outside, but I couldn't find anything in the rain. I'm not sure. Would Abraham sit in the rain? He may do. I mean, he's a grave tender. You'd think they'd be used to sort of working in all weathers. Alright, Delta Me. Nice to have you in. How are you doing? We're trying to solve some murders. Why does it remind you of RuneScape? Oh, I suppose like the characters moving around in the 3D view is a little bit like it. God, I played so much RuneScape as a kid. Maybe we can contradict search outside. Maybe we can ask her about these things. I was busy then, so I didn't see what he was doing. I was indoors at the time. I couldn't see what he was doing outside. What? You were outside. You need to head off. No worries, Ed. No worries at all. Thanks for stopping by. I can take control of this unwieldy chat. Hopefully they'll cope without being insulted every 5 minutes. By you. Have a good one, mate. See you soon. Yeah, I'm at a bit of a loss at this point. Search outside, maybe we can... No, I don't know. You are a fucking delight. Delightful wee eggs, you all are. We already asked her about being a cannibal, didn't we? Yeah, she said it was, harmless.
After Abraham left, I noticed that my multi-tool wasn't in my pocket. I searched all over the mortuary for it, but it was missing.
There's something here. She doesn't have any shame. I mean, she says that she just, she nibbles on entrails that nobody else wants. And apparently in this world there was some sort of great famine at some point. So I assume people had to do what they had to do. Grim.
Well, the truth is that the apprentice did come by. He asked for a bouquet for the funeral later that day. When I showed him the bouquet, he held it for
This
a
bit
moment
gets
and threw it
louder.
on the floor. I suppose it wasn't to his master's tastes. I forgot to pick it back up.
Why is that bit louder? Didn't take the bouquet with him. No, he decided it was best to return empty-handed than bring something unworthy. But what can we contradict with there? Shit. You can have little a person as a treat. There's got to be something. Master's taste. Shit. Right, I need to take a quick break anyway. You guys think about it. I expect to have all of the answers when I get back, okay? You think on. I return. Have we solved it? In my absence. The cannibal did it. Solved. But there is still this beeping, and it's on this one, I think. Oh, sorry, I'm clicking on OBS again because I'm an idiot. There we go. It seems to get louder on this one.
The truth is that the apprentice did come by. He asked for a bouquet for the funeral later that day. Then the boy asked to be taken to the rear fields before the funeral, so I led him out the back exit. When I showed him the bouquet,
It's something to do with
for
this.
a moment and then threw it on the floor. I suppose it wasn't to his master's tastes. I forgot to pick it back up.
Oh, what did I just do? I hit it with my elbow. It was all of them. Lock them up.
Then the boy asked to be taken to the rear fields
Oh, I
before
did
the
that.
funeral, so I let him out the back exit.
Isaac's master is Augustine. He's apprenticing under him. Night, SD. Try not to eat too many entrails before bed. I think they give you bad dreams. Thanks for stopping by.
When I showed him the bouquet, he held it for a moment and then threw it on the floor. I suppose it wasn't to his master's tastes. I forgot to pick it back up.
Let's contradict it. Present another suspect's testimony or physical evidence. It wasn't to his master's tastes. Do you think that him saying he was out there admiring a statue counts as... When I read that, I took it to mean that, like, Isaac would know what Augustine wanted, so he would just know without having to go ask him. But I guess we could say that maybe Isaac was supposed to go and show it to him. Yeah, it seems like that might be what they want. Let's try it. Shit. It wasn't to his master's taste. Maybe we can ask Augustine about it.
Then I passed through the graveyard until I saw the statue of Saint Walpurg. What craftsmanship, and so well.
No.
When I showed him the bouquet, he held it for a moment and then threw it on the floor. I suppose it wasn't to his master's tastes. I forgot to pick it back up.
What are we missing here? Is it that the muddy footprints went over to the flowers, but she didn't go outside until after? Would that make sense? I can try and contradict with the flowers. With the footprints, I mean. Right? No. It does sound like the right direction, I just... What we could do is just outright accuse Nerissa. But we need three things, don't we? We need the motive, the means, and the... what's the other one? Means. Yeah, Fanboy's story doesn't match up. But we're not getting bleeping on him, we're getting bleeping specifically on this one, I think. If you can just hear it slightly in the background. If I move over to like here...
After Abraham left, I noticed that my multi-tool wasn't in my pocket. I searched all over the mortuary for it, but it was missing.
You can still hear the bleeping, but it's really faint. Whereas over this
I showed him the
particular bit of
bouquet.
testimony,
He
it's
held it
loud.
for a moment and then threw it on the floor. I suppose it wasn't to his master's tastes. I forgot to pick it back up.
Oath of Cannibal means multi-tool. The when. I don't know what else we can press
Then
Augustine
I passed through
on.
the graveyard until I saw the statue of Saint Walpurg. What craftsmanship, and so well maintained. I arrived at the graveyard with Isaac for Mother Miriam's funeral. Isaac headed to the mortuary on a minor errand.
It sounds like Augustine didn't actually like tell Isaac he had to go in and get the flowers. We try that? Contradicting the bouquet? No. Isaac headed over to the mortuary on a minor errand. We contradict with the flowers? No. Got dog hair in my nose. Sorry.
Then I passed through the graveyard until I saw the statue of Saint Walpurga. What craftsmanship, and so well maintained.
Why would that be well maintained if, like, Abraham's family was sent into disgrace over being possessed, and she's the patron saint? I keep saying patron saint of exorcists, but again, I don't know how we.
For most of the afternoon, I was walking through the graveyard, merely observing and admiring.
Maybe we contradict him and ask him about this ether scanner? During your so-called stroll, did you drop this by any chance? I found it placed in front of a gravestone. What were you doing with it? This has nothing to do with Isaac's death. I should be the judge of that. Tell me what you were doing. I was using the scanner to recover a lost hymn for Abbot Gregory to use in tonight's maths. The last record of it is etched upon one of these gravestones. Oh, we got new stuff.
It took me a little while, but I found it. The grave of Sergius.
Sergius. How did you find the grave of Sergius? Are you certain it's the heretic's resting place? Sergius is Abraham's ancestor, isn't it? I'm certain it's identifiable by a unique set of etchings on his gravestone. Ooh. It takes a scholar's eye to discern its difference from other gravestones. Okay.
I placed my scanner in front of the gravestone. It would take some time to decode the etchings.
What were you trying to decode? According to my research, Sergius was buried with the last record of the lost hymn of communion. Unfortunately, it's written in an ancient script that even I can't read. It was obscure even in Sergius's time. Part of my research to reconstruct some of the data that was lost or suppressed after Sergius's condemnation. But he's probably got it out for Abraham.
Then I saw a stranger pass by. He was tall, barrel-chested. I think he was the groundskeeper.
So he did see him. You're certain he came from the rear fields rather than the mortuary? Correct. Okay.
Afterwards, I waited by the grave for my scanner to complete its task. It was taking longer than I expected, so I had to leave it.
Oh, we already had that one.
When the sun was setting, I wandered to the back area to meet with Isaac and begin the funeral.
Isaac. You instructed Isaac to meet you in the rear field at dusk. That was the plan, yes. I expected to have found the grave and finished the decoding by this point. Isaac would meet me in the rear field with the bouquet, and we would attend the funeral.
At sunset, I wandered to the back area to meet with Isaac. I was surprised to find an open grave with something inside.
Did you see anyone? No, I was the only one near the grave. Okay, let's see what he's got going on in his brain parts. Disappointment. Nice. I don't know how that helps us. Right, so what have we got now?
I placed my scanner in front of the gravestone.
Head towards benches. No, I saw him head towards the headstone.
Afterwards, I waited by the grave for my scanner to complete.
Didn't see him sitting on the bench when I passed by. Okay.
I spent the remainder of the afternoon resting. I walked through the mortuary, then headed downhill towards the benches.
You said he walked through the mortuary. I would absolutely love a deerstalker hat. That would be amazing. Okay, so let's contradict that with him seeing him go past. Yes! Lies. You didn't walk through the mortuary after speaking with Nerissa. You passed by the grave. Augustine saw you coming from the back fields. He lies a lot, this guy. Fine, I did walk through the back fields, past the grave I dug. People have always blamed me for things I didn't do, so I didn't think you believed me. I'm sorry. I haven't said I believe you yet, but we'll see. What was in the grave when you passed by it? Nothing. There was no body, no blood, nothing. Oh. Last Scion. You know what that means?
When the grave was ready, I walked back to the mortuary to let Nerissa know.
Ask him about that. Nerissa told me she was in the middle of a delicate procedure, so I left the way I came in. What procedure? Did you see what she was doing in the main room of the mortuary? Probably eating people. No, of course not. I can't see through walls. Oh, we got more bleeping going
I
on.
spent the remainder of the afternoon resting on a bench.
On the bench. He said he wasn't on the bench. I mean, Augustine said he wasn't on the bench. Try that one. This one? Yes! Alright, humble one. How you doing? Father Augustine claims that he saw you kneeling by the headstone. Admit it, Abraham, you weren't resting at all. Fine, I had to head to the grass. I had to tend to the grass around the graves. I didn't mention it because I thought it made me look suspicious. I think all the lying makes you look suspicious. Now you've made yourself even more suspicious. Me and Ada, man, we get it. We get it. Amend your testimony. So...
I had a sickle with me because I wanted to trim the grass around a grave in the front field.
The sickle. Do you admit you had the sickle with you since you left the mortuary? I did, then I used it to trim the grass. That's what it's for. Compulsive liar. Brief. Said Father Augustine was the one that called for help. He was standing over the grave when I arrived. Nerissa arrived around the same time. Game's going good. I think we've nearly cracked this one. We've got cannibals in this one, which is fun. Well, we've got at least one cannibal. We think the other one might be a vampire, but we're not sure.
I walked through the walls to reach the front field.
Oh, here we go. We didn't encounter the victim in the front field either. Now, I told you I've never seen that boy before we found his body in the grave.
When I passed by the grave, it was still empty, ready for the funeral.
You didn't see the victim alive or dead in the rear field at this time, by the grave you dug. Nope, I didn't see anybody at all or anything suspicious either. You didn't see anybody, but she was out there looking for a multi-tool apparently. I'm not sure how that proves you wrong. Let's try from Nerissa then.
After Abraham left, I noticed that my multi-tool wasn't in my pocket. I searched.
Shit. Oh, she was only searching outside there.
I was desperate to find the tool to finish my work. I tried searching outside, but I couldn't find anything in the rain.
Isaac was exiting while he was walking up to the building to tell Cannibal. Take Isaac to exit.
After Abraham left, I noticed that my multi-tool wasn't in my pocket. When I showed him the bouquet, he held it for a moment.
This one's
and
still
then threw it
bleeping.
on the
There's
floor.
something here.
I suppose it wasn't to his master's tastes. I forgot to pick it back up.
What is it? Something to do with the flowers that I'm not getting here. Oh, we can ask these people about their, were they all Abrahams?
The ground was hard.
Oh, that wasn't his. Who was that? Was that Augustine? Abraham was, last scion. As the last descendant of a disgraced noble lineage, Abraham feels owed his family's legacy. About 100 years ago, the church decided Sergius, my great uncle, was a heretic, which I suppose he was. But ever since then, they've persecuted my family, confiscated everything we owned, noble to labourers overnight. And all that's left of Sergius's line. I took his job to somehow keep working my ancestral lands one way or another. I was bitter when I started out, but I've discovered the work suits me. Maybe it was all Einsoft's plan after all. Asking about the grief. Abraham mourns his family's fortunes. Family fortunes. Quickly reducing their status. Looks more complicated than the last mystery. Have you missed one? No, we've been on this one the entire time. There's a lot more stuff in this one because we've got 3 different people sparkle, so we're having to sort of cross-question everyone. And it's a lot more involved. Asking about his grief. I'll never forget that night someone torched our home trying to burn us alive. Of course, the guards never caught the arsonist. How could they when it was certainly one of their own? Who was this one? Augustine. Let's ask him about that.
Then I passed through the graveyard.
Isaac could have been an eminent scholar if only he was more disciplined and rigorous in his thinking. I admit I sometimes felt he was wasting his gift. His death is even more of a waste, of course. That doesn't help us. That doesn't help us at all.
When I showed him the bouquet, he held it for a moment and then threw it on the floor. I suppose it wasn't to his master's tastes. I forgot to pick it back up.
I feel like we have to contradict this one, but I just don't know what with. I don't see what we can contradict him with. Can we ask about a future event? I think we could. Which one are you thinking? The one where Vamp Boy says about the bouquet, meeting him for the funeral. I haven't got a signature line, I'm afraid, Humble. I'm not a Twitch legend. Fanboy says about the bouquet and meeting him for the funeral. Do you mean this one?
The truth is that the apprentice did come by. He asked for a bouquet for the funeral later that day.
I suppose we could contradict that. He asked for the bouquet and then he wouldn't take it. Would that make sense?
When I showed him the bouquet, he held it
Oh, we
for a
can't
moment
contradict the
and
ones
threw it
in
on
the same
floor.
testimony.
I suppose it wasn't to his master's tastes. I forgot to pick it back up.
Yeah.
Then the boy asked to be taken to the rear fields before the funeral, so I let him out. When I showed him the bouquet, he held it for a moment and then threw it on the floor. I suppose it wasn't to his master's tastes. I forgot to pick it back up.
Whose testimony would contradict that? I think we've tried both of these and they didn't go. I don't know. Is it anything to do with her forgetting to pick the flowers up? She was meant to be neat and precise or something. Yeah, that's what I was thinking earlier, but I can't find a way to sort of use any of this evidence to contradict it. Oh, thank you, Humble. That's very nice. But you're a Twitch legend as well. Yeah, there's nothing in like the evidence that shows she was like super neat, you know? Strike detective. I'll take that. I know. I know. Take to exit and the one after finished digging. Let's try it.
Then the boy asked to be taken to the rear fields before the funeral, so I led him out the back exit.
So you think we want to contradict that with Abraham coming to the mortuary? That does make sense, actually. He walked back to the mortuary to let Nerissa know, and he would have bumped into Isaac, yeah? Oh, that's good thinking. Let's do it. Come on, game. Maybe we can contradict Abraham with that one.
When the grave was ready, I walked back to the mortuary to let Nerissa know.
Let's try that. Nope. That is bullshit, isn't it? Yeah, that's the thing with these games. Like, you can have all your theories and stuff, but if you don't click on the specific things that the game wants you to do, you don't get anywhere. It's something to do with this goddamn bouquet.
Then the boy asked, when I showed him the bouquet, he held it for a moment and then threw it on the floor. I suppose it wasn't to his master's taste.
Who had the
I
shovel?
forgot to pick it back up. Then the boy asked to be taken to
Abraham.
Then I got back to it and finished digging the grave.
He can pick up that shovel even though it's immensely heavy.
When the grave was ready, I walked back to the mortuary to let Nerissa know.
Search for the grave. The graveyard. You like Midsummer Murders, do you, humble one? You know, I don't know if I've actually sat down and watched an entire episode of Midsummer Murders. It's just one of those things that's on like a Sunday afternoon. I like a good murder, she wrote. The multi-tool as he exits.
When I passed by the grave, it was still empty, ready for the funeral.
Murder she did. The multi-tool as he exits.
After Abraham left, I noticed that my multi-tool wasn't in my pocket. I searched all over the mortuary for it, but it was missing.
I can't see how that works. Because she's not going outside, she only goes outside here. And he's trimming the grass by them. I'm surprised you get Midsummer Murders over there in the US, or is your mum based in the UK, Domella? If you don't mind my asking, you don't have to tell me, obviously. What did she say about this? Seems improbable. Searched everywhere inside, it's just not in here somehow.
I was desperate to find the tool to finish my work. I tried searching outside, but I couldn't find anything in the rain.
I got nothing. In New Jersey. Oh, you get it on PBS. Okay, that makes sense, I suppose. I know you get like BBC America over there as well, but I don't think Midsummer Murders is the BBC, is it? It's like ITV or something. Can you be trimming the grass in the rain? I don't see why not. It's foolish, but he could do it. Have we tried contradicting that? No. He's the only one that talks about the rain. You can't use a lawnmower. I don't know, but there's something going on with Abraham. I don't think he's quite right. Mind you, I'm saying that and we've got an actual cannibal here. So, you know, it's all relative, isn't it? Weather check with me? I can't tell. It's dark, that's the weather. That's quite cute, Domella. British mysteries are good. She could get into Jonathan Creek. I was well into Jonathan Creek at the time. Yeah, that's my llama. I can't remember who sent me that one now. That's me llama. Jonathan Creek is the best. Oh no! Oh, there's also a kiwi up there. A kiwi. I love a kiwi. Due South, yes. Due South was my absolute favourite. Stephen Baker, the deaf husky. Amazing. Incredible. See, now we're getting distracted because we don't know what we're doing in this stupid game.
When I showed
It's not a
him the
stupid
bouquet,
game, but I love it.
He held it for a moment and then threw it on the floor. I suppose it wasn't to his master's taste.
Right.
I forgot to pick it back up.
What I'm gonna say is, at this point, I'm willing to take a spoiler from chat. If anybody could look up a walkthrough and could nudge me in the right direction, I would appreciate it. Because I think I said I was only going to be on about an hour and a half, and it's now 2.5 hours. The gold ones are ones that are fully verified, so they're corroborated, they've got specific details, and they've got a physical item. Repair body. With show bouquet? Where's prepare body? Try to finish embalming?
I did what I could without making new incisions, but that made things slower and messier. I'm not pleased with the results.
Is that one? I'm trying to think what that will contradict with. To do with Augustine. Is it because
When the sun was setting, I wandered to the back area to meet with Isaac and begin the funeral.
is it because they were beginning the funeral and the body's not ready yet? Try that? No. Is it the other way around?
At sunset,
I did what I could without making new incisions, but that made things slower and messier. I'm not pleased with the
No. Doesn't work that way around. Unless it's discover grave. Contradict discover grave. No. The body's not ready, and they're starting a funeral. There must be something. The item of the body. Try to finish embalming. Embalmed body. No. Head towards rear. We do Augustine.
When the sun was setting, I wandered to the back area to meet with Isaac and begin the funeral.
Seemed right, didn't it? It doesn't want us to do it, whatever it is. Don't carry my mouth. Right, Emma, don't know. Did we ask Cannibal about the nibbled on liver? During the try to finish embalming, maybe. Go back to her.
I did what I could without making new incisions, but that made things slower.
The
and
strange
messier.
liver or the bloody
I'm not
liver? Let's
pleased
try
with
that
the
one.
results.
No. Strange liver? No. This has got me stuck now. More wet sounds. F? Has the stream gone down? Are we good? F's? Is it just you, Josh? No? Panicking. Okay. I think it might just be you, Josh. Okay. Don't say F unless there's an F. Should we just accuse her and see what happens? Oh, there's 2 opportunities. Yeah, prepare the body in quotes. Maybe we haven't got there yet, because there's 2 opportunities here. And I feel like one of these is going to expand.
I was desperate to find the tool to finish my work. I tried searching outside, but I couldn't find anything in the rain. I did what I could without making new incisions, but that made things slower and messier. I'm not pleased with the results.
I mean, what I'd like to do is like contradict and say, well, it probably wasn't ready because you were eating it. But you're not allowed to contradict with sanctum things. Shit. Did she say that Augustine... Did Augustine say anything about Nasira talking to Isaac? I don't think she did. I mean, she says this bit about it not being to his master's taste.
Threw it on the floor. I suppose it wasn't to his master's tastes. I forgot to pick it back up.
Look for multi-tool with muddy footprints.
After Abraham
We tried
left,
that.
I noticed that my multi-tool wasn't in my pocket.
Yeah. This is the closest one we have.
Okay, he held it for a moment and then threw it on the floor. I suppose it wasn't to his master's tastes.
Did
forgot to
Augustine
pick it
say
back up.
anything about Nasira talking to Isaac? He said he
The
went.
truth is that the
I arrived at the graveyard with Isaac for Mother Miriam's funeral. Isaac headed to the mortuary on a minor errand.
It says he went inside, but then he doesn't say anything else about it until he finds the body. Right. Yeah, we're doing spoilers. It's hard to say where we're up to. I feel like we're close to the end here. But I'm totally at a loss. So I'm happy to take any spoilers you guys have. Think about the schedule and arrive for the funeral. Let's try it. Is that a guess or did you find that? I think you should take credit for it, Josh won't know. Thank you. We've got something. Why visit a graveyard today? You seem to already know why. Walpurg's visitation records show that Abbot Gregory granted you unrestricted access. What is it that you're looking for? Reasons for my visit are of no importance to your investigation. It has no bearing on how Isaac died. Tell me anyway, I want the whole truth. You must know I'm here to examine the grave of Father Sergius. Sergius is a heretic who lived during Saint Walpurg's time. Scholarly pursuits, nothing of import. Oh, we got new stuff. You should have taken credit for that, Josh. Nobody would have known.
My true reason for coming here was to find the grave of Father Sergius.
So the funeral was just a cover story. Why the secrecy? My research is controversial. I didn't want to stir the pot, as it were, in these difficult times. Besides, it's true that I was planning to hold Mother Miriam's funeral after a bit of research. We've got a thing. It would have killed you with guilt. You're very honest. Admiration. Okay.
Isaac was sent to the mortuary to pick up flowers that I ordered for Mother Miriam's funeral. I saw someone greet him at the door.
Certain you saw Narissa at that moment. Yes, I'm quite certain she invited Isaac into the mortuary.
Then I passed through the graveyard until I saw the statue of Saint Walpurg. What craftsmanship, and so well maintained.
What did we get new from that?
My true reason for coming here was to find the grave of Father Sergius.
Did he say greet or eat? You can walk through what you found. I do think we better, just because it's getting quite late and I'm probably going to have to keep the noise down. So if we can maybe cheat our way through the end of this one. I think we've done quite a lot of hard work already, haven't we? We deserve this. Deserve it.
Isaac was sent to the mortuary to pick up flowers, and then I passed through the graveyard until I saw the statue of Saint Walpurg. What
Music got even
craftsmanship, and
creepier.
so well maintained.
The rest of his thing seems true. Oh, do we just accuse her now?
When I showed him the bouquet, he held it for a moment and then threw it on the floor. I suppose it wasn't to his
It's
master's
still
taste.
bleeping though. I feel like
forgot to
that
pick it
we've
back
missed
up.
something. But let's just accuse her. Okay, the means. Do you see a weapon anywhere? The weapon... Did we say it's the multi-tool? Because it said he got sealed back up again. Hmm. Yeah, because then she would have chucked it away because it was like evidence. Okay, the motive. What would you gain? Some tasty num-nums. Oh, the psychological evidence. Cannibal? Gotta be cannibal, right? Exotic meats. That rare flesh that has sustained you in a time of need. Working as an embalmer must have tempted you day in, day out. You were so virtuous for so long. You'd handle organs as part of the preparing the bodies. You could easily imagine the taste, the texture, yet you resisted. Then Isaac arrived, and the daemon spoke. You could no longer ignore your hunger. A fresh, juicy liver at your fingertips, it would be so much tastier than the cold entrails you'd handled from corpses. All you had to do was slit open his stomach like you've done hundreds of times before. Opportunity. Preparing the body occupied me the entire afternoon. When could I have done such a thing? Present a statement. During looking for the tool? Or during searching outside? Show bouquet and search outside? Oh, we can only do one. Do you think it could be either? Let's do search outside. Okay. Oh, he dropped the bouquet when she slashed him. I see. Jacques.
Aesop sees all, Nerissa. You are the only person who could have killed Isaac. Do you deny it?
Curse you.
Oh, she was hiding blood under the mask.
How can the eye see all? Does it see my suffering? Where was Aesop when my family was dying in the street? Chewing on leather just to live another day.
Who called that earlier? Who was that? Big props to whoever that was. Amazing cool.
The famine was a test, Nerissa. Ain Suf wanted you to demonstrate your faith, your will to live.
Have you ever felt true hunger? When you
Is it
haven't
you,
eaten
Hereford?
for days, reality shifts. The body needs.
We all have our challenges set out before us, Nerissa. Some more difficult than others.
Do you think I was the only one that fed on human flesh?
It's not for me to judge what you did back then. That's between you and your confessor. But today, you murdered an innocent youth so that you could feed on his liver. A daemon has possessed you. Confess, Nerissa. Speak the truth. It is time.
Early this afternoon, I informed Abraham of the funeral scheduled for this evening. The truth is, that boy did come by. He asked for a bouquet for the funeral later that day. When I brought him to the bouquet table, I don't know what came over me. The hunger clenched my belly suddenly. I've seen the butchers do it. It only took a quick slash to his throat, and he fell to the floor. I knew where to get the best cut. His liver. It was still warm. I couldn't believe the taste. Like nothing I've eaten before. Heavenly.
Just eating it out of him.
Then, Abraham barged into the mortuary, bellowing that the grave is now ready. I sent him away to focus. My senses were returning, and I cleaned up my mess. I sealed the boy's body, putting the liver from the body I had been embalming inside and sealing it. I carried him to the new grave and quickly tossed him in. I heard someone coming, so I didn't have time to bury him. I was shaking with adrenaline.
Picking up a guy and she said she couldn't even pick up a fucking spade earlier. It is, isn't it, Josh?
In my hurry to return to the mortuary, my multi-tool must have slipped out of my apron's pocket. I stored what was left of the liver among the other entrails, hoping to finish it later. I wanted to savor its deep, rich flavors. Sooner than I anticipated, I heard a scream from the backfield. Someone had already discovered the body.
Jeez. Let's get this demon out of her.
Nerissa's wretched soul is twisted by demonic influence. I must speak the daemon's true name. Then the daemon will be cast. Ain Suf, guide me. What daemon has possessed Nerissa?
Right. No. This seems promising. Not yet, Humble. I think we can work this one out. It wasn't out of envy. It wasn't vengeance. It's gotta be that, hasn't it? It's gotta be Beelzebub. Turned her into a feral beast. Yeah, compelled to consume stranger and filthier things until nothing remains of their humanity.
Out, Beelzebub! Leave this soul and return whence you came!
No! We must feed!
Awesome.
Nerissa, this scrumptious little morsel. We must have more. The hunger is an endless pit. More!
Speak, Beelzebub. Why has your kind returned?
Hunger is a primal need. Just as you feed on lesser life forms, growing them in captivity for slaughter. We feed on you, the meat of your emotions, the marrow of your deepest desires.
You will prey upon us no longer, Beelzebub. Return to the Aether, and
I must obey for now, but we won't be gone too long. Tonight, Lucifer will open the gates of hell. I won't be the only one allowed to feast. Ada, you juicy little morsel, we shall devour you soon. You and all the other delicacies.
Nerissa. Do you hear me, Nerissa? Was I too late? Goodbye, Nerissa. May Ain Soph make you whole again.
So this is the power of an exorcist. I
still think he's a vampire, though.
It looks a bit different than I imagined, however. What's happening to her?
Ada, look out!
Huh?
Halt, Nerissa.
What's going on? What?
Good. I've stunned her.
He just punched her? Virgil just punched her?
Are you all right, Sister Ada?
Yes. You came just in time.
That's what she said.
My thanks, Virgil.
Ein Soph, save us! Another possession! Another killing! How is this possible? Who is responsible? Virgil, you have failed us. How could you allow this to happen?
Unfortunately, Father, I believe you are primarily responsible. We should have listened to Ada.
Virgil's kick it off.
She warned us about the contaminated body, and its demons spread, just as she said.
We must act now. We can't waste any more time bickering about who's to blame. The daemon within Nerissa spoke of Lucifer's return. He walks among us.
It's perverse that they would return now on the holiest of days. Why? Are we being punished?
It doesn't matter why. The Abbey is unsafe, Father. Cancel the Mass. Send the pilgrims home. If you proceed, you are risking all their lives.
No, Father, you must stay the course. We've worked too hard for this moment.
Off Augustine.
I have decoded the ancient hymn of communion. The Mass can proceed as planned. This chance will not come again for another century. It's literally the last chance we have in our lifetimes.
What is the significance of that hymn? Why must it be sung tonight?
According to Augustine's research, it honors Saint Walpurga and her victory, in a way uniquely pleasing to Ein Soph.
I don't trust that.
I protest. But if you absolutely must hold the Mass, at least allow me to guard you at the altar. You are putting yourself in danger. What if you were possessed?
That may be unwise, Father. Surely if things are as dangerous as you say, nobody should be trusted. How do we know this supposed exorcist is not the pawn of Lucifer?
Wow.
That's absurd! You witnessed the exorcism!
No, I saw her turn a woman into a rabid beast. What
Wow.
really transpired in the ether when she supposedly exorcised these demons? She invokes the demons' names. She knows them more intimately than any of us.
I speak their names to control them and then banish them. You know this.
Or perhaps you are being used by them. How would we know?
He's such an asshole.
The only thing that possesses me is the flame of Ein Soph. I shouldn't have to defend myself.
Actually, what Augustine says makes sense. We should be extra cautious, just in case. I don't want you at the Mass. If you truly believe Lucifer lurks at my abbey, find him. Unmask him. Search the grounds as you like. But stay away from the chapel or I will have you put in a cell.
Wow. Fuck all these guys. Let them get possessed. I don't even care anymore.
Nothing can be permitted to interrupt the Mass and the hymn. Especially after the events of today. Saint Walpurga deserves to be honored for her victories. Inquisitor, Augustine, come. We have much to prepare.
Very wise, Father, as always. Farewell, sister.
Yeah, fucking peace.
It would be best if you were wrong, Ada.
That's because it is. Lucifer will strike tonight, Virgil. I only pray he strikes at me instead of at the Mass.
That's not true. I hope he strikes at Abbot Gregory and Augustine. Would love it if they both took it.
Stay vigilant.
Well, that's it. We finished the second one with some help. Oh, it's loading up the next. I'll let it finish loading. Just so it saves. I just want to make sure it saves so we don't have to do it all again. And then I'll read that all again next time. And then we'll go get a raid going. Let's just see the first bit.
Virgil, where's Abbot Gregory? What interrupted his Mass?
Hopefully it saved there. I don't want to start doing all the dialogue and stuff. If it hasn't saved, I mean, I'll open it before the next stream and just check that it's there, and if it hasn't, I'll just go through quickly and do it again. So don't worry about it. Don't you worry about it. Right then. I have to very quickly leave, I'm afraid, because it's quite late and I'm going to be in trouble. If the dogs hear me talking this late, they will probably kick off and wake everybody else in the house up. I need to find somebody to raid. Who's on? Oh, I see who's on. Well, that's a no-brainer for me. Thanks everyone for coming in, and thank you for all your help. I don't think my brain could handle this on my own. I'd probably just sit there and Google the answers. I wouldn't do it all of them. But I like a good puzzle sign. Humble, I think you're broken. You may be a bit broken. Pip's mum? What about Pip's mum? What are you on about? Oh, is she online? Is she streaming now? Yeah, thanks everybody for coming in. Don't know, thank you again for that donation. I really appreciate it. Yeah, we're gonna go over and raid a Cade, because Cade is fantastic, and they are playing on the new Red Dead Redemption RP server, which I may get into, I may not, I haven't decided yet. So let's go say hello to them. And their character, Annie, I think it is. Thank you everyone for coming, and I'll see you again sometime soon. I don't know when, but sometime soon.